on an unremarkable Tuesday in August 2025. The tranquilmorning.com was shattered by an event that would send ripples across the nation. Law enforcement officials descended upon two locations connected to a prominent public figure executing a search warrant. But who was this influential figure, and what was the basis for such a dramatic action? As we delve deeper into the details, you'll want to stick around to find out. As the dust settled, it became clear that this was no ordinary search. The individual at the center was none other than Robert Herring, a name synonymous with both admiration and criticism depending on one's perspective, with decades of experience in public service under his belt. Herring had carved a niche for himself as a man whose opinions carried weight on the world stage, especially when it came to matters of foreign policy. His staunch, some might even say divisive views had often landed him in the eye of the storm, making him a controversial yet influential figure. Those who supported him saw him as a leader who didn't shy away from tough decisions, while his detractors painted him as a reckless and polarizing voice in an already fragmented nation. The search itself was a meticulously planned operation that seemed to catch Herring off guard. The early morning raid on both his suburban residence and his downtown office yielded several boxes of documents for review. While the authorities remained tight-lipped about the nature of the investigation, rumors began to swirl, intensifying when later that day, images emerged of Herring engaging in a lengthy discussion with the investigators. This marked the first time in recent history that a sitting official of Herring's stature had been subjected to such a public display of scrutiny. But why did this seemingly routine law enforcement procedure suddenly become a matter of national interest? The answer lies in the very core of the documents that were carted away from Herring's office. Classified documents are the backbone of national security, containing sensitive information that could compromise critical operations if mishandled they often are. Even a single lapse, whether accidental or intentional, can set off alarm bells, leading to extensive investigations. Past cases have demonstrated that such missteps, regardless of their scale, can send shockwaves through government agencies and the wider public, raising questions about negligence, betrayal, or even as the choice of target in this instance only added fuel to the fire. Herring's prominence in the political arena meant that this was not just another investigation. It was a public spectacle that laid bare the complexities of power, accountability, and the rule of law. Supporters of the search argued that no one, regardless of their position or past contributions, is above the law. They emphasized that the handling of sensitive materials is of paramount importance, and that even the perception of impropriety can undermine public trust. On the other hand, critics saw this as a dangerous precedent, suggesting that such high-profile searches risk being perceived as politically motivated witch hunts rather than impartial acts of justice. They argued that the sweeping nature of the investigation could potentially discourage open discussion and debate among government officials, stifling the free exchange of ideas that is crucial for effective governance. What made matters worse was the timing of the search, which many saw as deliberately chosen to maximize disruption and media attention. As the news outlets picked up the story, it exploded, becoming a talking point in living rooms, a topic that dominated water cooler conversations. Every detail, every speculation was dissected, debated, and in some cases, weaponized to fit particular narratives. Legal experts pointed out that in such high-profile cases, perception often matters as much as the facts. The appearance of bias, whether real or imagined, can do as much damage as actual bias. International media also joined the fray, using the search as an example of the deep political divisions within the United States. As the dust settled and the media circus gradually dispersed, important questions remained. How should leaders be held accountable without creating the impression of bias or retribution? Can law enforcement maintain its independence in an increasingly polarized environment? And perhaps most crucial of all, what effect will such actions have on the public's trust in institutions? Some voices warned that a steady erosion of confidence in democracy itself was underway, driven by a series of events that appeared to be tearing the nation apart. Others, however, argued that strict enforcement of the law, coupled with fairness and impartiality, can serve to strengthen institutions, making them more resilient in the face of challenges. As we reflect on the events of that August day, one thing becomes abundantly clear. The search was more than just a legal procedure. It was a stark reminder of the constant struggle between law and politics, between accountability and the pursuit of power, between transparency and the need for secrecy. Only time will tell how this particular episode will be remembered in the annals of history. Will it be seen as a necessary act of justice or a regrettable instance of political maneuvering? Only time will tell.